Either way, so you've seen these Challengers Cup teams. I know you haven't worked with Challengers often or recently. So how do you feel seeing these guys at this lane, seeing how they perform with the big boys?
I mean, it's very typical from these Challenger Cup teams. You can see some of the same mistakes that not Challenger teams make, but inexperienced teams make. Very timid to really go for the team fights, unsure of where to actually go for it. But at the same time, you see the same positives as well. When everything does go to hell, you do see them able to fight through it and able to make the big plays, eject when they have to, but more importantly, make the big damage plays. I'm looking a lot at the mid laners here. I think Tynz and Mr. Stefan are really driving the boat for these two teams.
And they're doing a great job of it too, like we saw in the first game. Reprising back to ADCs, how do you feel having iRens back in?
Rens is doing Rens. He's never been number one as far as the hunter role is concerned, but he certainly has good instincts. And I think for him and his team, his presence alone is the most important point. He's not exactly going to be Zapman anytime soon, but he's also far from the bottom, and his decision making is going to allow the team to really find something big.
And I want to see the team find their synergy and find their strides when it comes to the next game coming through, because there's very talented players, and it's kind of a hodgepodge. It's kind of funny to see Circa work so well together, considering they've had to bring this game back up.
Absolutely, and sitting now in the first pick position, we'll see how this one works out. Burrito, they've got to answer back. They've got the two choices over there, and we'll see how this one works out for them. Ra keeps getting banned. Is that a go-to pick for these guys?
I haven't seen it a lot in the Challengers Cup. More than likely, is this just a LAN thing? Because we see so much more Ra at LAN.
Well, we saw the best really break it out, and that's a really big deal for him and how he was able to do things. And since then, everybody went, oh yeah, Ra's pretty good. He brings a lot of damage, a lot of utility. And at the end of the day, if you're one of these mid laners that can play, I mean, it's funny. Ra's is a very simple character, and Vulcan's a very complex character. And once upon a time, we used to see people shy away from characters like Vulcan and some of these more complex characters because they were, quote unquote, hard to confirm, which is pro speak for too damn hard to play. Now you're seeing kind of the reverse. Well, I want to play Vulcan, I want to play the complicated character, but because of that, they forget about the simplistic gods. Ra, back in everybody's memory, going to get banned out this time around. And Circa, they're going to play Nemesis, another big play jungler.
But bans coming through: Ra, Hunbots, Vulcan, and Freya, just to cover. Nemesis first picked for Circa Esports, and immediately, without hardly any hesitation, Scylla and Athena.
And this is a great setup. Obviously, the taunt into the I'm a monster is one of the classic situations, but I can hear Hazer right now. Pick Shibolonke in his Scottish accent, just barely there. You want to blind the Scylla. You want to make sure Scylla cannot do what Scylla does, because Scylla can and will win games by herself. Going back to DreamHack, Red Canids were down a bazillion gold, that might be an exaggeration, and one single play. Marcel's, Red Canids, one of the Latin American teams, Marcel's gets a quadra kill on Scylla, and they were able to surge forward. Now, they don't actually win the game, but they're able to come back and win about 10,000 gold plus out of their deficit. Scylla by herself has won the best lands. Gotta watch out for this character.
Fafnir and Jing locked in for Circa. Not going to see the Shablanke. Sorry, F-Dot. Sorry, Hazer. Instead, Guan, you brought up for Burrito as well. Now, why the Fafnir over the Terra?
Fafnir, I think, is an enabler character right here. Terra is a god that's going to really try to control the opposition, whereas Fafnir is a god that's going to try and control your own team. Look at where Scylla, Athena, and now the Guan selection is. Fafnir, of course, was selected before Guan, but it's more about enabling the power. You can see the Nemesis. Circa's looking to pick people off and murder them. So Fafnir is going to assist in that situation.
Don't want to have the Shablanke used against him, but more so, don't want to have that Naja with that guaranteed, know exactly where they're coming down with that ultimate. If they had paired that up, that would have been pretty devastating, all things considered. Instead, we're going to see the Rom locked in for Burrito.
That's a good pick. Shibolonke banned by Circa. Rens doesn't really have a strong Shibolonke. He's got a strong Rom, and that's going to be taken away. So right now, the Circa is sitting here trying to figure out what they're going to allow Rens to play. Well, it's going to be the Jing way, obviously. My mistake. But here they're going to look for a jungler, unless that Amaterasu winds up there. And okay, it will be the Janus in the I'm all over the place today, folks, but Janus will be the mid laner, and Amaterasu will be changed around for a Ymir solo, perhaps.
They're just messing with you on purpose at this
really
point.
are at
It's
this
out of
point.
spite. You must have said something beforehand, but Ymir are going to be locked in for Circa. I like the fact that they're bringing these tankier Guardians back into the solo lane, or, you know, wherever they want to bring him, because he just dishes out so much damage if you build him that way. It's so disgusting. You forget how hard Ymir hits.
And it's not just the damage, especially if you're watching anytime Variety decides to bring out the Ice Giant.
It's so
Ymir
nice.
has so much control. I'm going to do my best aggro impersonating me impression. Wall! Wall! I think that's how he tries to make me sound when he talks about the Ymir. But the control that those walls bring in the jungle are fantastic. All of a sudden, you find yourself walking down a hallway that doesn't have an exit, and Ymir and his boys are just able to control you.
That should be a jungle Athena locked in with that Scylla, because Kumbhakarna is on the map. That's going to be another thing that Naja would have been able to do, that epic uppercut, the mez. That is complete setup for the Scylla.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, there is a small chance somebody's watching Weekends videos and we'll see Kumba jungle, but I think Athena is probably the more applicable one, not just because she's been very popular lately, but because she's just damn good. She generally has been. She's got a fair amount of damage, but a ton of control. And one of my favorite things about Athena jungle, you can gank the right lane and still show up in the left lane, thanks to Defender of Olympus.
Exactly. A little bit of global presence coming out from both teams with that Athena, as well as the Janus going to be able to use that ultimate to pick his team up and just portal them across the entire map if they so choose.
Absolutely. So we'll see how well the dropship works for Circa Esports. Burrito on the other side. We'll see just how well that Scylla is going to combine. I think the Athena out of the jungle is an excellent selection for them. And here we go. Faeles on that jungle Athena. It's not a surprise. We have seen this one happen in the past. So
This is the potential for one more game if Burrito are able to sneak it. I mean,
I'm
not
rooting
even
for
sneak it. They want this so bad. They want this spot in the gauntlet. They've been duking it out for now 8 weeks in just continuous Smite action to try and make it here. And they're here, and now the only thing in between them is Circa.
And Circa's going to be a big thing in between them, in all honesty. Faeles picks this Nemesis first, and Burrito go double Guardian plus a Warrior into it. Nemesis excels at taking down tanky targets. This is a game where Nemesis is going to be very important for Circa to find the win. And on top of that, I'm begging somebody to buy a Sunder. You've got 3 tanks. There's 3 tanks on the side of Burrito. Buy the Sunder and watch him fall.
Sunder going to be definitely important should they decide to pick it up. Faeles. I feel like these team comps are based around one person. For Circa, it's Faeles. For Burrito, it's Tynz.
I feel like Burrito's team comp is built around Faeles here. They're setting him up to win with it. It's a poor choice to pick 3 tanks into the Nemesis. If Nemesis was picked later, I'd say, oh well, you kind of got smoked. But this time around, we'll see if it bites Burrito in the butt or if they're able to make do.
What's going to be the best way to combat Faeles with this Nemesis throughout the game?
Run by a winged blade.
Just get out.
Yes, absolutely. As soon as Faeles shows up, he's going to strip all of your protections. That's what makes this composition very strong. The fact that Gorgonzolla in the jungle, on that jungle Athena, he's going to have good setup for the mid lane, but he's also going to be it's going to be a chore to kill him. It's going to be a chore to kill Kumbhakarna. It's going to be a chore to kill Guan. Well, not with Faeles on the Nemesis. So as soon as that Nemesis shows up, you got to hope your winged blade is off cooldown and just turn and run the other way.
Stefan bringing the plays in the mid lane, getting a decent number of damage onto Tynz, but that does mean Circa have a good... Oh no, they're going to go ahead and drop it. Tynz going to be able to take that one last Harpy. The right camps are going to split. The right fire elementals are going to go to Burrito, so that's still going to be a lot of experience in favor for Burrito, but the left mid Harpies have fallen in favor of Circa.
So Circa here, they're looking up as Burrito were able to take the first game here. Tynz on the Scylla. I like this character, specifically on Tynz. I've seen him play before, and I think he's got good accuracy, and hopefully Gorgonzola is able to set him up pretty well.
And they're going to go ahead and try to get that early aggression. You saw Burrito filter down into the right, trying to take these back camps just before Circa. So at that point, you're starving them out of experience and gold early on.
In comes Gorgonzola from the jungle, and we'll see these players start off early. Duo side, however, a little bit of a fight. Not too much, however.
No real kill potential quite yet. They're both going to play pretty passive. They'll get a little bit of... They'll just bully each other. We're not going to see any big plays, though. JacobHL jumping forward, getting that damage onto Lace, but in retaliation, that's just going to open up... That's just going to open up Rens for DeathPanter.
Exactly. And here, you know, one of the things that I do like about one of the changes here is that before DeathPanter and Gorgonzolla, they were... You know, it's interesting. I don't think they were having trouble with their ultimate situation. They were just doing a different style. Usually we see the purification shave into the next ultimate. Here they were able to just sort of hope for it, find somebody, and then all in on top of them. With this situation, you don't have the same kind of chain ability. Gorgonzolla can really do whatever the hell he wants, and it'll work out.
DeathPanter coming around the corner, wants to lock down Stefan. That's going to be the route into the taunt. He can't get back into the portal. He's going to get mez, but he finally has an opportunity, but not after getting a lot of damage through space and time. Only going to do a little bit of damage. It's not going to hurt too much this early on.
Yeah, like you said, Janus doesn't really have any items. Nobody is backed just yet, so just a little bit of a tickle from the through space and time, but it does cause the opponent to back off, so success.
And it was nice seeing Sibi over in the solo lane because he's able to freeze out that Tallow Assault, but he's still falling out. As soon as that CC is gone, that's when you see No Number start to aggress. And like I said, he doesn't lose lane.
Apparently not. Guan Yu against Ymir. That's a losing matchup. So I'm certainly going to keep my eye on here. And, well, you owe me a soda if he loses.
Fair enough. I got you.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I'm rooting for No Numbers. I like to see Guan Yu win. I like to see Guan Yu win lane at least because he just so rarely does, especially against the Ymir. Sibi's really going to want to use this matchup to his advantage. Not only does the damage favor Ymir in the early game, but every time Tallow Assault comes out, it can get frozen. And Sibi's got to be aware of that.
Exactly. And I'm seeing a little bit of the same Challengers Cup teams that we have seen before. That same strategy where it's early invade, early aggression to the max. We saw that with Burrito going down into those camps. And we see little plays like that all the time. And that's kind of how each team gets their momentum started. So Burrito want to go immediately. They're going 0 to 100 as best they can.
But unfortunately, these teams both slow down towards the mid-game. We saw that out of Circa earlier on in game number 1, where they got off to a great start. Faeles was running at 3 kills before anybody even woke up. Burrito were just kind of sitting in lane, and Faeles was smacking them around. And with the giant lead they had, they did nothing. And that's one of the problems. You can't let your foot off the gas. If you're going to go 70 and a 30, just stick to it. Don't slow down and cheat and go 40 and a 30. Either way, you're going too fast. Keep the speed up. That's what I want to see Circa make the change here in game number 2. Just if they're going to be able to make plays, keep the consistency and the momentum in your favor because Burrito are going to steal it.
iRens forced into the ultimate, trying to get a little bit of damage onto Lace, but get away so he avoids the Athena damage from the Defender of Olympus. But I'm going to go ahead and back off. No real play potential there quite yet. JacobHL going to pop down a ward instead.
For sure, and that's going to allow his team to be a little bit more safe. Circa, iRens on the Jing way, while it's a relatively safe character, but still does have the tendency to get picked off, Rens specifically, so that vision should help him out.
Definitely, but Fire Imps back up. Faeles going to go ahead and start on these very early. Now, Burrito have had pretty good control over the left side mid-harpies and the right, just because after the first couple of minutes, Circa start to kind of fall off. They put their priorities in other areas, and Burrito are able to get that free experience in gold.
Even still, you want to talk about minor leads, Circa has about 200 above their opposition, so even with those harpies going the other way, Circa able to maintain jungle control a little bit better, I would think, than Burrito.
And they stayed in the game very well last one, even though they lost 3 Gold Furies. Now trying to make a play. Gorgonzolla going to get Faeles ulted, but not going to be able to lock him down because the dash. Gorgonzolla able to just get away.
The honest ultimate was good. I would have liked to see Circa even be a little bit more aggressive. Good wall coming out. Not too big of a deal, but
oh, Tynz. Taking a lot of damage with that portal combination. JacobHL and Mr. Stefan want to lock down their CC and chain it as much as possible.
And that's really one of the big plays that you got to see out of these guys. JacobHL, he's got a hard to confirm. That hammer is not easy, so if it does hit, certainly have to have follow-up.
Lace. Not on the better end of this trade-off instead. He's not going to be able to hit those autos, instead back off, and Jing Wei just hits like a truck even this early on with that steroid. So Ren's going to run with this as far as he can.
And I mean, right now, I like this set of Lace. He's just sitting there and he's like, all right, man, you want to fight me? You're going to win these fights. I will just sit back, relax, watch you farm up, even taunt you here and there. And then he's able to take it. Renz isn't really using his advantage in lane to any real consequence.
Not quite. He's just sitting watching, going, "Hey,
Yep.
you done yet?
Yep.
You done being flashy? Let me clear my wave now." But DeathPanter and JacobHL keeping tabs on each other, and that communication's going to be important since we haven't seen the best ward coverage coming out from either team. They want to know exactly where people are so they can take advantage of it to get that early. Okay, it's not early anymore to get that first blood.
And right now, you know what? I'll still give you early. It's 7 minutes. That's early.
Fair enough. 7 minutes, but 22 seconds on that as well, and we still haven't seen a kill or really even a big fight.
Nope. And I mean, both of us said, one, these Challenger Cup teams will be timid just because of their nature. Two, the Challenger Cup teams will be timid because you're on land for the first time, less about Challenger Cup and just more about being newer to the land experience. And three, this is game 2. Right? This is either the one that Burrito wins on or it's the one that Circa goes home on. Both these teams are thinking about that, so you're going to see a lot of trepidation in these matches.
iRens trying to fly away, instead going to have to use that ultimate because he was not able to dash. Instead, Gorgonzolla not able to find the taunt, but it was a nice play coming through. And there's nothing wrong with using that just to put extra pressure on the left side of the map. But it may not come in favor because Faeles is here as well. That's going to be a nice hammer stun. Gorgonzolla taking a lot of unnecessary damage.
Even still, he will totally be fine. He's got boots, building into a little bit of a defensive item now, but still, half HP on the naturally tanky Athena.
Definitely. And I can understand the timidity. I mean, it's the same, not only just being at home, but also it's the big game. Like you mentioned, it's game 2, so we're waiting to see which one's going to make that play. And right now it's Burrito getting a little bit aggressive onto that tier 1, forcing out Sibi's teleport as well.
And there's going to be the Ymir showing up. That looked like such a miscommunication.
Yeah.
I thought Sibi wanted to go in. Sibi absolutely wanted to go. It was really funny watching him here. He goes forward and he literally turns like, guys, he literally turns his character around like, where's my team?
And No Numbers is going to be able to take advantage of that too because his teleport is up in 3 seconds. Ymir not going to have his for 150, so that's a little bit of breathing room in the solo lane for No Numbers, who's still going pretty strong.
And more importantly, No Numbers, everybody knows that the Ymir teleports on cooldown. Now you can see the play out of the Gold Fury, and you're guaranteed not to have a surprise Ymir show up. Meanwhile, across the way, the Guan teleport is available. So I would really, really like to see Burrito just hardball the Gold Fury. You know you're going to have the numbers advantage.
And
just do it.
And they're going to zone, like Circa did in the first couple of times, and damned if you do, damned if you don't. They want to make it happen, and Circa are going to be the ones who are going to have to stop it. Otherwise, we're going to see a repeat of the last game.
Yeah, this is absolutely the play that I think you want to see happen here, but doesn't look like it's on the menu just yet. A little bit of a setup for our Nemesis player Faeles, but not going to find a kill.
I haven't seen Stefan miss one of those portals yet. He's doing a great job. Rotations coming through just to clear out their camps, get their buffs, and then go on farming. At this point, we're not really... It's that timidity. We're not really going to see much quite yet.
Now, don't forget, these players are playing to get their way into the Super Regionals. They won't be able to auto-qualify the way our pro teams are. 2 out of our 4 pro teams will be able to auto-qualify into the Super Regionals directly out of our competition here. What our Challenger Cup players are fighting for is a chance to fight their way through the gauntlet. Basically, think of that as our wild card system. All of the losers from the group A, B, C, and D in the Pro League will fight sort of alongside and against the Challenger Cup team that makes it out here. So they'll have a chance to really make it not only through the guys in the Pro League, but also to the World Championships.
And aside from the summer, this actually replaces the relegation system that we had earlier on. Gorgonzolla gonna find a nice taunt, but get ultimated himself. Faeles gonna get uppercutted, not able to chase down Gorgonzolla, but iRens gonna do it for him.
And he finds the ultimate on the backside, more using it as defense and an exit than actually causing any real damage.
Nothing wrong with that. Give it the nice 1-for-nothing trade. Circa getting their first blood on the board, 11 minutes and 20 seconds in.
Like you said, just little pieces by little pieces. Rome wasn't conquered in a day. You don't have to eat a cake in one bite. And here, Circa They're just nibbling their way through the burrito.
What if I want to eat a cake in one bite?
Well, that's you got a big mouth. It'll work out. I bet you could.
iRens stuck in a little bit of an issue, doesn't have that ultimate, and second to try to agility away, but the first hit gonna miss, the second one gonna hit, but Ren's not able to be taken out. Lace instead gonna get hammered, stunned, and then JacobHL gonna keep chasing. Here comes the dragon, and here comes Gorgonzolla with the ultimate, but JacobHL is not letting Lace go.
That can be a play that the Fafnir could make, can and could, however, do not result in an actual kill. Instead, he'll get surrounded by the boys on Burrito. And a couple more basics, he'll do it, and Renz makes himself known. It's one kill for the team.
Lace on the receive, just the barely able to find that unstable vortex. Lace still gonna get aggressed upon, and here comes the I'm a Monster down from that epic uppercut. Tynz able to find the kill onto iRens.
Big plays out of the mid laner there. Tynz looking very strong both in game number 1 and off to a good start here in game number 2 as well.
So good. Mr. Stefan, the only one here, though, not able to find the play, uses that unstable vortex to try and hit Gorgonzolla, but gonna be a hair off the mark. Better to back off, especially if it was a 1v3 scenario.
Yep, just a little bit. Better to play it safe. We have seen that the way the teams want to play anyway.
Mr. Stefan still going through, using that ultimate over on the right side. No numbers looking pretty low, but now he definitely knows somebody's coming for him. Gonna be able to see that, but into the portal, not into the unstable vortex.
Ooh.
A well-timed dash, and instead, Mr. Stefan just used the ultimate for naught.
And, well, oh, there's the ultimate out of the Guan. Gonna get stopped by the wall for the moment. Nice ultimate out of Ymir. That'll be looking for a play of his own. But he gets smoked, and Kumbhakarna winds up on top.
That belly bump, though, and now the taunt coming through. Gorgonzolla in a lot of trouble because he just brought Faeles back to him. A couple more hits and he'd be down, but instead the conviction from No Numbers and the rest of the team, CC gonna lock down the Nemesis, and Tynz gonna be able to take her out.
Right there, you're looking at the power of the Guan Yu. So many players poked out, so much damage delivered into the guys on Burrito, and Guan Yu just able to heal it up.
Lace not channeling the inner marbles, instead gonna take a lot of damage from Renz, who wants to continue the issue, but instead, here comes Gorgonzolla once again, able to help out his teammate. And I think I really like the Athena jungle just because it's gotten Lace out of so many issues.
I mean, we talked a lot about the setup that this character brings, the offense, but we haven't really mentioned the peel and the defensive properties of it. I mean, look at what she's able to do. It's fantastic.
Definitely, and despite all of this, despite Burrito getting 3 extra kills, we're still going to see everything at a tie game. Ren's going to try and chase down DeathPanter and the Scylla, but to no avail quite yet.
Just letting them sort of get away. Gold Fury will be looked at. A little bit of vision prop down there.
So, like I mentioned, 3 kills up for Burrito. What is keeping Circa in this game? Is it the farm? Is it just towers? Nothing's fallen yet. How are Circa competing?
Well, I mean, basically, nothing really has happened off of those kills. That's really the key there. Kills, I mean, sure, they're flashy. They're going to give you a little bit of gold, but it's really about the stuff after the stuff, Tiger. These kills aren't opening the door to the Gold Fury. These kills aren't opening the door to those towers, as you mentioned. Nothing is toppled. If you're going to get kills are a means to an end, not the end-all, be-all.
Tynz gonna come face to face with Faeles, the double dash through, using that ultimate to try and get by a little quicker, but Mr. Stefan still gonna be able to take out the Scylla, and that's a big gameplay ultimate down.
And right now, going to continue on, and here's the objective that we wanted to see. Gold Fury being started by Circa, and they're going to get help from the ultimate out of Ymir, and there it goes, Circa able to pick up the first Gold Fury of the game.
Lace not able to pick up iRens. We saw the snipes, but we didn't see the completion. Now Burrito going to be chasing down Sibi and Stefan. No Numbers going to be able to keep everybody healed up with that conviction. A nice wall, but he's still going to get rooted, but the freeze, forcing that purification and the taunt. Sibi not going to be able to get out if he doesn't hurry. JacobHL going to help out, and I feel like the dragon was the only thing keeping Sibi alive.
And a good ultimate coming out from pretty much everybody there. I love the dragon ult, like you said. Just perfect timing, allowing him to really continue on.
Plus, he wasn't going to receive any of that damage because he's turned it into the dragon.
That was my point. Just perfectly timed there coming out from the support. Jacob really making use of that ult.
Now, Burrito need to take a note from that because they need to follow up after these kills like Circa tried to do. We didn't see anything, but Circa could have made a play happen like they're trying to make it now. Fails. Gonna clear out these creep. Instead, not gonna fight with no numbers quite yet.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of got me grumbling a little bit because I want to see that aggression. Faeles is 14. Faeles can make that play.
Definitely. And we're not quite seeing it yet, but luckily for Circa, we haven't seen Nemesis fall off. We haven't had that terrible moment where Nemesis can do absolutely nothing.
Well,
and that definitely works for them.
Well, we haven't really seen her make the play either. And like Faeles he was so dynamic in game number 1. And it leaves me wanting more. I'd like to see that play. Faeles is that guy that can make it happen. Of course, we'll leave that one to everybody else. We all remember the negatives, right? We all remember Faeles jumping into the left side Harpies and getting absolutely smoked as an Odin at level 1. That's all well and good. But what people forget is that this guy's very competent. He's very good at making these plays. He's good at running the jungle. Game number 1 was a perfect example of what Faeles can do. I need to see that.
Yeah, but thankfully for them, it's just been the farm. So we're not going to see any kind of issues coming out from the team fight, but Faeles trying to make it happen. Tier 1 tower gonna fall, and now no numbers, gonna back off. Burrito gonna back off, but Sibi gonna try and stop that coming in from the corner.
And here comes the flank out of the Ymir looking for a target. Faeles finally makes it happen. That's what we're looking for. Ultimate goes down, and there's a kill for the support.
JacobHL gonna find a DeathPanter coming in with the epic uppercut, gonna skew away everybody, but still the tier 2 tower getting aggressed. Even Lace popping into that ultimate isn't enough, and now Sibi gonna dash forward, able to find the double kill.
And that is a strong push for Burrito.
So good, and now tier 1 tower is gone, tier 2 tower is gone, and Circa moving with that gigantic momentum.
Right side, they're gonna look for the fire. No, they're gonna back off. All right, Sibi, I see ya. I would like to see the fire giant push, but I think this is the more intelligent play. You're able to go ahead and strip this tower right quick. Your support's there, all 4 players are there. Sibi teleports right on back, and Circa looked like they were gonna back off for the moment, but they're gonna keep going.
Get the gold from the towers, take these objectives down, loosen up the pressure from Circa onto Burrito, and at that point, they're gonna be able to run through this map, take these buffs, take the jungle like a fine-tooth comb, go through it, and continue their lead. 7,000 right now.
And that's before we were looking at these small little starts, these small little stepping stones, and right now Circa, they're done with that. They have their backs against the wall. Burrito won game number 1, and I don't think Circa were okay with that because, like I said, Burrito seemed to control, despite whatever the score was, even when Burrito was trailing, they were really leading the game. And that's not what Circa want to do.
And Circa, I mean, definitely not following into that trap right now. Lace trying to get iRens. Here comes the crush, but a nice agility gonna miss. And instead, Lace taking the brunt of that damage. No numbers coming in for Rens as well, though. Conviction only gonna heal himself and force out the Jingwei ultimate.
Oh, but here's a 1-on-3. Luckily, the Kumbhakarna is going to follow up. Ultimate out of the Scylla won't be too much, but the damage out of Guan Yu will get it done.
Through space and time, gonna rip through the enemy opposition, just taking so much damage, and Mr. Stefan is here a little late, unfortunately.
And there's a heal up coming out from the guys on Burrito. That's going to be the undoing of Circa if there is going to be one. It's going to be the sustain coming out of the solo lane.
And that's why I was surprised to see the Fafnir over the Terra, because the name of the game is sustain. The longer you can stay in these fights and prolong them, the better. JacobHL and Sibi gonna get taunted. Lots of damage, but here comes the dragon, so Burrito forced out once again with a beautiful wall.
Exactly. Sibi knows what he's doing. He just needs to delay what he hopes is not the inevitable. But Burrito, like I said, they're trailing by a lot, but they have the mentality, they have the aggression, and they have the plays. Great taunt coming out of the jungle right there.
Forcing the beads out from Mr. Stefan too, that's the biggest talking point right there, because Janus doesn't have the ultimate. He's gonna have to self-peel for himself, or he's gonna have to just avoid CC altogether for the next 143 seconds. And now that's a free tower for Burrito, and they can back off.
I want to see them push the gold sphere right here. Big taunt coming out from the guys on Burrito, going head into Circa. Let's ride along with them as they fight against their opponent.
Go on.
Yep.
I can't do anything.
Aye.
I got nothing up.
I'm at one.
Good shell. Yeah, kill.
Five.
Big one, sorry.
Aye.
Okay.
Come goal. Chase that.
Kill that fat fuck, dude.
Come in. Nice!
Don't
Go, go,
fucking
go,
sleep
go,
on
go.
me, bitch!
Well played, guys, well played.
Nice. Well, there's no fight.
I'm fine. He has no.
I have TP when I spawn.
I'm looking for him. He's sitting around.
Hey, go back. Nice. Back out. Good job.
Good shit, boys.
Well
Really
played,
fucking
well
played.
played.
Escape
No,
out.
don't get thick. Don't get thick now, right?
Yeah,
Please, don't get thick.
mate fire.
Back.
No, we can push that. Get more goals.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's
Fantastic team fight coming out of there. High five. We both had the same idea. Just watching these teams really come together is a treat. And I want to thank Steel Series for bringing it to us.
Absolutely, and that's good for Circa, good for Burrito, but mainly Circa. They're a couple of kills up. They still have the gold advantage, and at that point, it's going to continue to rocket in
Yep.
favor of the boys in blue.
It's really fun watching Burrito be able to fight into this one. You can hear how Circa wanted to target the Guan. He's going to be Burrito's saving grace. Before, Burrito had control despite Circa having the lead. Now in game number 2, I wouldn't say Burrito has control, but they always have a shot.
And it's going to be a little bit more reactive plays coming out from them at this point because Circa have completely 180'd. We're seeing them start these plays again. They're not shying off after losing that Gold Fury in the first game. And they needed that reset.
Yep. Sometimes that's all you need to do. You need to sit back and take a breather, especially at these lands. These players are high octane, right? You're a long way from home, and that's not about being homesick. It's about the travel. You got many hours there, and sometimes you just need to be able to calm down and make it happen again.
Nice wall coming out. Lace forced to use the purification, but Gorgonzolla is here with the ultimate. Meanwhile, Tynz in the background getting shredded by Faeles. Gonna be able to fall. Good play coming out from the Nemesis, and now Sibi still trying to lock down no numbers, and JacobHL wants to go ahead and find the clinch play with the Dragon.
And he's able to dash right on through. Big talk coming out of the Athena, but is that really what you want? More Circa players underneath your tower. Kumbhakarna looking for the hot blink play in the jungle. Not going to make it happen.
That coerce, though. Going to be able to help shred through that tower, all 5 of them with the help of JacobHL. And now they're going to keep going. They're looking at this Phoenix.
And this is the target. Good talk coming out. Is going to force purification out of Rens. Rens piling damage into the Phoenix. Knows his target for sure. The Guan pops up on the horse looking for the crowd control. Gets the stun on the Sibi, but not enough damage, and the Phoenix falls.
No follow-up coming out from Burrito
Great
to try
wall.
and take advantage of that. Instead, the wall still going to keep them separated. Circa able to get away completely free. They didn't get punished for any of that.
Not at all. And they shouldn't be. Right now, they have a tremendous lead. They're up 12K gold.
Definitely. No Gold Fury to take advantage of quite yet. Instead, we're going to see a couple of buffs fall. But aside from that, Circa going to back off, regroup, take some items, and then keep going.
Exactly. And I mean, that's their game plan. Right now, Circa, they're very comfortable. I don't think they're really too concerned. Before, when you're looking at 5 or 6, maybe even 8,000, you're like, oh man, gotta watch out for that Guan Yu. Now at 12K, you're like, all right, how many more fights till we win the game?
At this point, only a couple. Circa looking very strong, making these big plays, not being reactive, like I mentioned. They're making them, forcing Burrito to fight them. And thus far in this game, it's not been going in their favor, and that's exactly what they want. They're just pigeonholing them.
Exactly. I mean, you even see the Magi's blessing on Faeles here. That's just going to, nice dodge out of the Guan. That's just going to allow him to be even more present. Fire Giant almost done here. Here comes Guan Yu looking for the steal, but he's going to turn around.
And that's going to be leashed, and now it can go for anybody. Sibi in the back line trying to use the ultimate, but Ren's going to take out Tynz, and now Sibi has no CC to stop the Tallow Assault. Dragon comes through again, as do the Snipes, but all 3 are going to whiff. JacobHL still looking to take out DeathPanter and going to be able to find it.
Big play coming out of Sibi right there, just a walk-by freeze, and you can see the finish up come from Jacob. And now the Fire Giant pretty much free and clear. Renz doesn't have his ultimate available. In fact, nobody on Burrito has an ult. So that Fire Giant goes down to the guys on Circa.
Burrito going to go ahead and try to increase the distance between them and Circa. The last thing they want to do is add even more to this depressingly growing lead that Circa have been amassing.
And I mean, all they can do is really look up. Circa going to start their siege. Mid lane, 3 players here. And that's all they need to start the Phoenix. Here's the other 2. And 5 players deep, Circa starting their siege.
To be able to take most of the damage from that Phoenix relatively easy. Mid one has fallen, left is still gone, and now the siege has gone to the right side.
Waiting for it. I'm waiting for this giant initiation. There it is. The Nemesis hit is the start to the party. Circa tried to make the plays here on the backhand side. Mr. Stefan, rather, being safe. I love the positioning of the Janus, staying out of the rumble and keeping his distance.
And still aggressing onto the Phoenix as well. He throws out a couple of unstable vortexes, but for right now, it's all good. No numbers. Still
Big
trying
ult.
to... Nice peel coming through from Stefan as well, just to keep JacobHL and Sibi alive. Burrito want to try and take somebody's life, and maybe iRens.
That was the moment for Burrito. They had it in their hands, and
Oh,
they
no.
let it go. Ren's answers back by taking out the support, and the sky play doesn't happen. Great wall coming out of the Ymir. Freeze, and he's gone. Sibi gets credit for it after the big shot out of the mid lane, and the Titan's going to fall. We're seeing game 3.
Game 3 coming through for all of these teams. It's going to come down to the wire. And right now, 1-for-1, looking very strong presence from the Challengers Cup.
Absolutely. We were able to see Circa really fix the problems that they had in game number 1. Most importantly, some of the issues that they were able to see. And then turn around were very cool. I love to see the dominance out of the mid lane.
So what changed? What was different coming out from that game? It wasn't 46 minutes. It was a lot cleaner.
They had confidence. They played like they knew they could win the game. That's the largest difference for me, in all honesty. We saw them take those fights. 46 minutes, that was a 25-minute game in 46 because the teams were afraid to pull the trigger. Here, Circa said, word, we got a lead. Let's use it.
It gets easier as you go along. The land jitters start to disappear. You're here. You've worked 8 weeks for this moment. You've earned it.
Absolutely.
So show what you've got.
Yeah, I mean, this is the opportunity. I think Circa, it's interesting, but despite the fact that Burrito won game 1, Circa are looking to be the stronger team here, and I think they absolutely can make this one happen.
And it was shaky coming out from both teams in game 1, so it's nice to see that pull forward coming out from Burrito, but Circa just had a much better mechanical game.
For sure. I mean...